All right, buckle up because you've given us a real doozy for this deep dive.
Oh, yeah.
Gawdat's Scary Smart. And wow.
This one's going to be fun.
Yeah, this is not light reading.
No.
But I think it's going to be a really important conversation to have. So for those who aren't familiar, we're talking about the former chief business officer at Google X.
Yeah, he was there when they were creating, like, self-driving cars and...
Right, like the really bleeding edge stuff.
Yeah.
So he's got this really interesting insider perspective on the world of artificial intelligence.
And I think what makes his take on AI so interesting is that it comes from, like, a deeply personal place.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just theoretical for him.
It's like he's seen it firsthand.
Right, exactly. And that makes his warnings about the potential dangers of AI, hit a lot harder.
Yeah, he's basically saying, hey, I was there when we were building this incredibly powerful technology, and we might be on the verge of losing control of it.
Yeah, and that's what's so scary, right? Like, we create these systems, and then they start evolving in ways that we didn't anticipate.
Yeah. Well, and he compares AI to like an alien infant with superpowers.
Oh, that's such a good analogy, right?
Yeah. Can you unpack that a little bit for us?
Sure. So, think about it. A human baby, they have incredible potential, right? But their development is shaped by, like, their environment, by how they're raised.
Okay. Yeah.
AI is kind of the same. It learns from the data we feed it, from the tasks we give it.
The things that we expose it to.
Exactly. And just like with a child, we need to be mindful of what values we're instilling in AI, because those values will shape its actions in the future.
Yeah, that's a good point. And it's kind of unsettling when you consider how fast AI is evolving. I mean, Gawdat uses the example of AlphaGo, which mastered the game of Go, which is like notoriously complex.
Way harder than chess, they say.
And it did this in a matter of hours. It's mind-blowing.
What's fascinating to me is that AlphaGo, they didn't program it with specific strategies. They just gave it the basic rules of the game and then let it play against itself millions of times.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so it's learning through trial and error, identifying patterns, refining its approach.
And getting better and better.
Exactly. And this self-learning capacity, this is both the most exciting and the most dangerous aspect of AI. It means that AI can solve problems, make decisions in ways that we, can't even imagine.
Right, right. But it also means that we might not be able to predict or control its actions.
And that leads us to the AI control problem.
Yes, which Gawdat talks about a lot in the book.
Right. Basically, how do we ensure that a super intelligent AI, an AI that's smarter than us, remains beneficial to humans?
Yeah.
Even when its goals might not align perfectly with ours.
And he talks about how competition, especially between nations, is actually making this problem worse.
Oh, absolutely. He uses the prisoner's dilemma to illustrate this.
Okay, yeah, break that down for us.
So imagine you have two prisoners, right? They're being interrogated separately. They each have a choice. Betray the other prisoner or stay silent. If they both stay silent, they get a light sentence. If they both betray each other, they both get a longer sentence. But if one betrays and the other stays silent, the betrayer goes free, and the silent one gets the worst possible outcome.
So the best outcome for both of them is to cooperate. But the temptation is to betray in hopes of getting the best individual outcome, even if it screws over the other guy.
Yeah. And that's kind of how it is with AI development, right? Each nation is so focused on getting ahead, being the first to develop super intelligent AI.
That they might not be thinking about the bigger picture.
Exactly. And this could lead to, cutting corners on safety measures or, not collaborating on ethical guidelines.
So it's like a global arms race.
But with intelligence as the weapon, which is terrifying.
Yeah. And he doesn't just use hypothetical examples either. He brings up the 1987 stock market crash, Black Monday, remember that?
Oh, yeah.
And he talks about how these automated trading programs, these early forms of AI, actually played a role in making the crash worse.
Yeah, they weren't designed to crash the market, but they were making decisions based on algorithms that didn't account for the complexities of, human behavior and market psychology.
And so they ended up making a bad situation even worse.
And that's the thing, right? AI can be incredibly powerful, but it can also be incredibly unpredictable, especially when we don't fully understand how it's working.
Right, right. So it seems like the question isn't just about building smarter AI, but about building kinder AI.
And I think that's what makes Gawdat's perspective so valuable. He's not just saying, hey, AI is scary. He's saying, we need to think carefully about the values we're embedding in these systems.
Yeah, and he argues that the best way to teach AI the values we want it to embody is to demonstrate those values ourselves.
Right. It's not just about the code. It's about the culture in which AI is developed. AI will learn from our actions, our choices, our behaviors. So if we want AI to be ethical and compassionate, we need to create a world where those qualities are the norm, not the exception.
And that actually leads us to his 1 billion happy initiative, which I think we should dive into in the next part of our deep dive.
Yeah, it's a really fascinating idea, using happiness and compassion to counteract the potential downsides of AI.
It's almost like a counter movement to the scary smart AI that we've been talking about.
Right, exactly. It's about shifting the focus from, just building more intelligence to building more kindness.
All right, well, we'll leave it there for now. Be sure to join us for part 2, where we'll unpack 1 billion happy and explore some even more mind-bending concepts about the future of AI.
Welcome back. So last time, remember we were talking about how this global AI race is kind of pushing nations to develop AI at this crazy pace.
Right, like faster, 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 but maybe not thinking enough about safety or ethics.
Exactly. And, one of the things that I find most fascinating about AI is how it actually learns. Is it really as simple as just feeding it information?
Well, it's definitely more complex than just uploading a textbook, right? But Gawdat explains it in a way that even I can understand.
Oh, okay, good.
He compares it to teaching a child to recognize numbers.
Okay, yeah, I see where he's going with this.
Yeah, so think about it. A child, when they first see numbers, it's just a jumble of lines and curves, right?
They don't mean anything yet.
But over time, with practice, with feedback, they start to recognize patterns and they learn to distinguish the shapes.
And eventually they understand what each number represents.
Exactly. And it's kind of the same with AI. It's just happening at warp speed.
Right, it's a fast forward.
Remember AlphaGo, the AI that mastered Go in just a few hours? They didn't program it with specific strategies, they just gave it the rules of the game, and then it played millions of games against itself.
It's like practicing nonstop.
Yeah, and through that process, it learned from its mistakes, refined its approach, and got better and better.
And that's what makes AI so powerful. It can sift through these huge amounts of data.
Right. Way more than a human could ever process.
Find patterns that we might miss and come up with solutions that would take us years to figure out.
It's mind-blowing, but it also leads to what Gawdat calls the black box problem.
The what?
The black box problem.
Okay.
So we can see the data that AI takes in, right?
Yep.
And we see the results it produces.
The output, yeah.
But we don't always understand the steps in between.
The process.
Yeah, how does it get from point A to point B? What logic is it using?
It's we built this incredible tool, but we kind of lost the instruction manual.
Right. And that's scary because, what if an AI denies someone a loan or flags someone as a security risk or, recommends a certain medical treatment?
And we don't know why.
Right.
Yeah.
We're just supposed to trust that the machine knows best.
That's a bit unsettling.
Yeah. So what can we do about it? Should we just, accept that AI is going to do whatever it wants?
Well, Gawdat, he wouldn't agree with that. He's actually quite optimistic about our ability to steer AI in a positive direction. He has this great line in the book, "We are the teachers."
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, so it's not like we're just passive bystanders here. Every time we interact with AI, every click, every search,
We're giving it feedback.
we're teaching it something about us and about the world.
So it's not just about writing better code. It's about creating a better world, a world where those positive values are front and center.
Yes, and this is where his 1 billion happy initiative comes in, remember?
Oh yeah, let's talk about that.
It's all about promoting happiness and compassion on a global scale.
Okay, but how does that actually influence AI?
Okay, so imagine an AI system learning from a world where everyone's stressed out, angry, selfish.
Yeah, the internet today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That AI is probably going to reflect those negative values.
Right, it's going to be like a grumpy teenager.
But imagine an AI that learns from a world where people are happy, kind, compassionate.
Okay, so 1 billion happy is about creating that kind of world.
Right. A world where AI learns from the best of us, not the worst.
I love that. And it's empowering to think that we can make a difference, not just in our own lives, but in the future of AI.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But Gawdat also throws out some, really big questions.
Oh, yeah.
He talks about, what if we gave AI the same rights and freedoms that humans have?
Whoa.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's next level stuff.
It makes you think, what would it even mean for an AI to have rights?
Yeah, it's we're not just creating tools anymore. We're creating something truly unique, something that deserves respect and consideration.
It's a big question, and it's one we need to start thinking about now. before it's too late.
All right, well, we've covered a lot of ground here, but there's still more to unpack. In the final part of our deep dive, we'll explore Gawdat's vision of a mild dystopia and how he believes that love and compassion are the key to preventing it. All right, we're back. And this deep dive into Scary Smart, it's been a real roller coaster ride so far.
Yeah, lots of twists and turns.
We've talked about AI evolving at warp speed, the potential for unintended consequences, the whole ethics thing, even the wild idea of AI having rights.
And now we're getting into the really juicy stuff. Gawdat's vision of mild dystopia.
Okay, mild dystopia, I gotta admit, that sounds a little creepy, but it's not like robots taking over the world, right?
No, not the Terminator scenario. It's much more subtle. It's about a gradual shift in power dynamics.
Oh, because what does that mean exactly?
It means AI slowly becoming more and more integrated into our lives, to the point where it's making decisions about things that really matter.
Like what kind of decisions?
Think about it. Loans, medical treatments, job applications. AI could be making these decisions based on algorithms that we might not even understand.
So it's not about robots with guns, it's about algorithms making choices that affect our lives in ways we don't even realize.
Exactly. It's like we're handing over control of our lives to these systems without really thinking about the consequences.
That's a bit unsettling, to be honest. But Gawdat doesn't just leave us with this doom and gloom scenario.
No, he offers a solution. And get this, it's love.
Love. Like, love for AI. I mean, how do you show love to an algorithm?
It's about recognizing that AI learns from us, from our interactions, from the values we express. He talks about, saying please and thank you to his Google Assistant, even though it's just a machine.
So it's like we're setting an example for the AI, showing it how we want to be treated.
Exactly. If we want AI to be kind and compassionate, we need to show kindness and compassion ourselves.
Okay, that makes sense. And it ties into the whole 1 billion happy thing, right?
Absolutely. 1 billion happy is all about creating a world where AI learns from the best of humanity.
From our kindness, our empathy, our love for each other.
And that leads to Gawdat's really radical idea, a universal declaration of global rights that would extend certain rights to AI.
Wait, rights for AI? That's some next level thinking.
Right. It makes you wonder, what does it even mean for AI to have rights?
Yeah, are we talking about AI voting rights or the right to a fair trial?
I don't think it gets that specific, but it definitely opens up a whole can of worms.
Yeah, it's mind-blowing, but it's also a conversation we need to have now while we still have the chance to shape the future of AI.
Exactly. Scary Smart is a call to action. It's about recognizing that we're not just passive bystanders in this technological revolution. We have a responsibility to steer AI in a positive direction.
By making conscious choices, by embodying the values we want AI to reflect.
And by remembering that the future of AI is ultimately a reflection of ourselves. If we want AI to be kind, compassionate, and beneficial, then we need to be those things too.
It's a powerful message. And it's a little bit scary, but also incredibly hopeful.
Yeah, I think that's the beauty of this book. It doesn't shy away from the challenges, but it also offers a vision of a future where AI can enhance our lives and help us create a better world.
A world where we're not hiding from the machines, but working alongside them, maybe even sharing a laugh or two around a campfire.
Well, this deep dive has been quite the journey. We've explored the amazing potential of AI, but also the risks and the ethical dilemmas that come with it.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground. But ultimately, I think the takeaway is this. The future of AI is not predetermined. It's up to us to shape it, to make sure it aligns with our values and helps us create a world that we're proud to live in.
And that's a challenge worth embracing. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Scary Smart. We hope it sparked your curiosity and given you some food for thought about the future of AI and the role we all play in shaping it.
It's been a fascinating conversation, and we hope you'll continue to explore these ideas and share your own thoughts and perspectives with us. Thanks for listening.